Diego. How many of you all know where Southeastern San Diego is? Okay, just a couple of you. Okay. So, for those that don't, I put a map up here to let you know where we're located. So, the community is basically kind of in between Paradise Hills and Canto. The crazy part about Southeastern San Diego is that we're primarily known for gang violence. There's a lot of people in our neighborhood utilizing drugs. There are a lot of people on Section 8. Who knows what Section 8 is? See, okay. So Section 8 is a rental assistance program. There are a lot of people in our community that lack opportunity, basically. So they're not making a lot of money. They can't go to school because they need to work. And it's really a struggle. That's what people utilize as a term for growing up in Southeastern San Diego. It's kind of like it was a struggle. You know what I mean? So imagine being Black, being a woman, and growing up in an urban community such as Southeastern San Diego. And I put some statistics up there because those are statistics that are still relevant today. All of these are new statistics that have come from the Department of Education, from the White House's Report on Women of Color. So we're overrepresented in the juvenile justice system. We're more likely to get pregnant. There's opportunity gaps facing girls that are of color going into STEM fields. Who knows what STEM fields are? You guys all know STEM fields, okay? Because that is the area of that's like the wave of the future, right? If you want to get a good job, you better be, in the STEM field in order to be in demand because we know how hard it is to find a job. Yet, people like me aren't showing up for those opportunities and they don't know about the opportunities and they're not qualified for the opportunities. In addition to that, we're least likely to graduate high school in 4 years. And when we get to, not high school, college, sorry. And when we get to college, we're more likely to need remedial classes because we're not even ready. We've gone from K through 12, and it's time for college, and we're not ready. We're behind. So much so that our dropout rate is 2 times more than girls that are not of color. Okay, so this is the environment that I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and this is still what's going on today. So this is my family. Oh my God. Those are my sisters. That's why they said, oh my God. So I don't have a professional family picture of me and my parents because they weren't married. So I'm the only child that they have together. So I had my mom and then I had my dad. So since I was 3, basically I've grown up with 2 families. So for me, being a kid and being a teenager, it was always like being shuffled from one house to the other house. And then one house has this set of rules. My mom was very strict. She's still very strict. And I couldn't do anything. And so for her, I was second in demand. So that means I took care of all of my little brothers and sisters, which you can see multiplied very quickly after I came. So it was myself and then my brother, and then my mother became a foster parent when I was 8 years old in the 4th grade. So that meant that I had to then begin helping with the cooking, helping with the cleaning, and helping with the babysitting. And so a typical weekend for me would be her saying, okay, what do you have to do? And I would be like, it doesn't even matter what I have to do because you're going to tell me I can't do it anyways because I have to stay home and babysit. So let me ask you what you have to do because what I have to do doesn't even matter, right? So that was my life as a teenager and as a preteen. Being the second in command, being the woman of the house when my mother was gone and out working, she had to work 3 jobs in order to sustain the household. And then on my dad's side, he remarried. They both remarried, as you can see. So not only was I going in between household to household, I was just kind of wondering and just kind of like, it's a feeling of why am I here, basically. Like, okay, I know I need to go to school. I know I need to do grades, but